Alright, how's it going, everyone? So we got UFC 295 coming up this weekend, and I thought with the fight week thing added to the game recently, I'll make use of it, try and get some fucking coins out of it. So we're making some predictions on the main card, working up from the opener, Mafrovola versus Benoit Saint-Denis, all the way up to the main event, Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. I'm assuming that's how you say Saint-Denis. I mean, I'm just thinking of Red Dead Redemption 2. Macca, bitch! Saint-Denis! So the opening fight, according to this, which I thought it might have been Lopez versus Sabatini, but it's Frivola and Saint-Denis, according to this. Mafrovola coming off a first round TKO back in May of Drew Dober. Drew Dober getting that Giga Chad jawline tested. Shocking. Good win, though, for Mafrovola. And Saint-Denis coming off a second round TKO back in September of Thiago Moises. I think I'm going to give this one... There's a potential for fight of the night here. So I'm going to put this one as my fight of the night. You know, this is I can see this being pretty wild. Oh, it's just dishing trophies out like fucking nobody's business. You know, this has got potential for, like, fight of the night potential for me. They're both wild, you know, that Mafrovola likes to get in there and just throw hammers. That's Saint-Denis. He's a lot of victories with submissions over TKOs, but, you know, he's stopping Moises in his last fight with the TKO in the second round. I don't know, I can just see these two just going at it. And I'm going to go for Saint-Denis by decision, I think. I'm going to lock that one in. Alright, moving up the card, we've got Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Andrade coming off a second round submission loss to Tatiana Suarez. And Dern coming off a 5-round unanimous decision over Angela Hill. I think I see this one going. If it stays on the feet, Andrade is probably going to get a finish. If it goes to the ground, I'd see Dern likely submitting her. Although Mackenzie's striking has come on a little bit, she's still yet to finish. I mean, she got a knockout on her record, but just seeing how she's throwing her strikes in the last couple of outings, she's willing to stand there and sit down on her shots and throw them with a bit of grit. So, I mean, I don't think it... I do see a scenario of Jessica Andrade coming forward with a big, like, sweeping, like, wide Vanderlei Silva style hooks and leaving that chin up in the air, and there's a chance Dern could fire her right straight down the pipe and, you know, hit her at the very minimum. Maybe rock her and then get her on the floor and submit her from there. But I don't know. I think key to victory is Dern's got to go to the ground. Andrade, just keep it on the feet, but just watch out with that chin as she's coming forward throwing them hooks. I'm going to go Dern, and I'm going to go submission in the second round. And I'm going to lock that one in. Alright, moving up the card, we've got Diego Lopez versus Pat Sabatini, and Pat Sabatini definitely is a tennis player's name. Definitely doesn't sound like an MMA fighter's name. Both good jiu-jitsu lads. Lopez coming off a first round submission win over Gavin Tucker, and Sabatini coming off a second round submission win back in June over Lucas Almeida. I think this is going to be I'm looking forward to hopefully a good fight between two good submission lads. You know, Sabatini not seen all of his fights, but the fights I have watched, he's good with his leg locks. But Lopez, relatively new to the UFC. I think he's only had 2. I think his other fight was against a loss to Evloev back in May, but he gave Evloev a good showing. I think did Lopez step in on short notice to take that fight as well. One thing I like about Lopez, he's aggressive off his back. He's not afraid to, like, throw up arm bars and triangles, and he's one of them off his back guys where it's like there's nothing happening, and then fucking bang, he's clamping on an arm bar. I really like that kind of like, all of a sudden there's a submission being attempted rather than like a slow build up where he's like trapping your arm and he's like climbing the legs up. You know, he locks it in like dead quick, and I like that when someone's on their back, and I do like offensive grapplers off their back. I'm gonna go Lopez, and I'm gonna say it's going to be a sub. But saying that, I don't know. It might be one of them. We're both thinking the submission lads. But it's they might fucking come out there throwing hammers. I don't know. I mean, look at the stats there. It's, you know, 26% KO chance for Lopez. 21% Sabatini. 26% sub Lopez chance. 24% Sabatini. people are leaning towards Lopez. I'll go... I'm going to go... do you know what? I'm going to go TKO Lopez. And I'm going to go... I think it might be a wild first round. I don't know. Fuck it. Lock that one in. I'm going to get the worst. I'm going to end up at the bottom of this fucking leaderboard. Fucking no way. I don't be surprised if any of these are right. Alright, moving up the card. We've got Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. 18-1-0 for Pavlovich. 13-3-0 for Aspinall. Pavlovich coming off a win back in April. A TKO first round stoppage over Curtis Blades. And Tom Aspinall coming off a win, a first round win back in July over Marcin Tybura. This is I like both of these lads. You know, Aspinall, he's a UK lad, but I never let where someone's from affect me pick. You know, I pick whoever I think is actually going to win. It doesn't matter where they're from. I like them both. Tom's like a down-to-earth lad. You know, I fucking can't stand Paddy Pimblett. I don't know what it is about Paddy. I just don't like that kind of brash attitude. But I like Tom. He's quiet. He's down-to-earth. And Pavlovich as well. I like he's not got that like typical like ice-cold Russian demeanor. He's got a cheeky smile on him. He's cracking jokes. He's learning a bit of English for his for his interviews and that. Oof, I mean, what are people saying here? 54%. Pavlovich, 45%, Aspinall, 85% chance for Pavlovich to get the knockout, 47. But Aspinall's by far the better grappler. I don't care what people say. I think I'm much faster than Sergey. No heavyweight moves like I do. I think I'll be in and out with the 1-2, and Sergey's going to be punching at shadows. I don't think he could. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could do this. Like, I'm going to be champion on 2 weeks' notice. Like, I respect Tom for stepping in on that 2 weeks. That's like balls. He's trying to do like a Bisping here, and shock the world off 2 weeks' notice. Unfortunately, it worked. Fortunately, it worked for Bisping. It didn't work for Volkanovski in the last pay-per-view. But I mean, Pavlovich, fucking hell, he's a fucking murderous puncher. He's got the longest reach, or one of the longest fucking reaches. I don't want to see either of these two lose. I like both of them. But I want to see them both do well, but only one of them can go forward. With that being said, I'm going to go Pavlovich. I love Tom. I've just got to call this how I see it. I think, obviously, I'll be rooting for Tom, but I think Pavlovich is going to get the win. This is not going to a decision. I don't think there's no way this is going the distance. So I'm going to go Pavlovich by KO. I'm going to say in the second round. I mean, I was going to go first for the first round at first, but I don't know. I still might. I don't know. I just keep picturing Tom coming in with that dart and 1-2, and he's just getting clipped with his chin up in the air, but I don't know. I think that most people are expecting that from Tom, but I don't know. I'll go second round. I'm fucking shit at predicting fights, so we'll see how wrong this is. Fight of the night, no. I'll lock that one in. But I'm rooting for you, Tom. Come on, lad. But I think Pavlovich is going to get it. Tom Aspinall, definitely not happy with me picking against him. I can't believe you'd pick against me, liver-shot fellow English countryman, and you're picking a Russian to defeat me. What are you playing at? Some fucking fan you are. All right, moving on up the card. You got Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. Yuri Prochazka coming off a 5-round war submission win back in June against Glover Teixeira. And then he's been out for ages, healing his shoulder. He had a really bad shoulder injury. But he's back in, he's ready to go. The literal fucking Dragonborn. This guy's a fucking straight out of Skyrim. He is the Dragonborn. I'm convinced if he really wanted to, he could do a fucking fuss rodar on Pereira. Like, I could see Yuri pull that off. Like, win by fuss rodar in the third round. And then, of course, we've got Alex Pereira coming off a 3-round split decision win back in July against Jan Blachowicz, the Polish power. And this guy looks like he's out of a fucking video game as well. He looks like he just wandered straight off the fucking Street Fighter 2 game set. He looks like fucking Sagat. I love, again, same with the last fight with Pavlovich and Aspinall. I love both of these lads, and I don't want to see either of them lose. It's a shame that they have to fight, but also I love the fact that they're fighting. It's like the clash of styles here is a MMA fan's dream. Styles make fights. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. And I don't want to see either of them lose, but I want to both see them go on to greatness. I mean, fucking hell. I've gone over this one back and forth. What's the fucking community saying? 65% Pereira. And I'm guessing that's by KO, yeah. 86%. So 34% for Yuri. 76% TKO chance. I mean, a lot of people are leaning into, like, Yuri because of that experience. Look at that 29-3-1 as opposed to Pereira's 8-2-0. But that's in MMA, don't forget. He's had like 30 plus fights in fucking kickboxing, you know. He's no stranger to the fight game. He's like one of the only, or if not the only, 2-division champion in Glory. So he's got some fights under his belt, you know. Like I say, 30 plus fights. He's no stranger to stand up, you know. It's just his ground game's probably his weakest area. I know he showcased it a little bit in the Adesanya fight, but like, I mean, that's two kickboxers grappling, you know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't say Izzy's the biggest threat at all to Pereira, like, when it comes to grappling. You know, it's like watching two kickboxers grapple. It's like watching a retard trying to fuck a doorknob, do you know what I mean? It's like, I think you know what I'm getting at. It's like, there wasn't much threat for Izzy for either of them to take each other down, you know. But Yuri's got a really good ground game. He's got some brutal ground and pound. You know, he's good at controlling you when you get down. And he can, like, people are talking about the chins of these two. Like, you know, Pereira's known for turning people's lights out. But I think, Pereira's known for being hittable, but I think they're both known for being hittable. Like, Yuri gets accused of being, like, very sloppy. Like, I wouldn't say, in my opinion, I wouldn't say sloppy. I'd just say he's unorthodox in his unorthodox ways. As a result, and leave him to get tagged now and again. You know, Glover was landing on him quite a bit, and I think he dropped him at least twice. I just remember that right straight that he wobbled Yuri with towards the end of the fight. But Pereira is, you know, he's been wobbled a couple of times. Obviously, he got like brutally knocked out by Adesanya, which fucking burns me. But like, I don't think that was a question of a bad chin. I think he was just in the pocket. He thought he was seconds away from finishing a fight, and then a fucking right hook comes over the top, stuns him, and then Adesanya times another one and fucking turns his lights out and then follows up on the ground. So, but in one of the, I can't remember which one of the kickboxing fights between Pereira and Adesanya, Izzy was tagging him with like with straights. Like he gets it with the straight a lot, Pereira. And I was watching the Dominic Reyes and Prochazka fight today, and Yuri was like stepping in with that, like covering a lot of distance forward, like that lunging in jab and straights and front kicks and like shots down the middle. Like, and I can just, you know, I can see Pereira getting caught with a lot of straights, but at the same time, Yuri keeps that fucking right hand low, you know what I mean? And look what happened to Strickland when he was keeping that right hand low, or he was reaching down for the kicks as Pereira, and Pereira coming over the top of that brutal left hook. And then the follow-up that finished Strickland. But like I say, I think they're both hittable. It's just who takes the better shot and who can recover. I think Yuri's got really good recoverability, if that's a word. Like, you know, in the Reyes fight, Reyes wobbled him at least twice. He caught him with a good shot on the feet. That sort of Yuri poker faced a little bit, and he sort of walked backwards and to clear his head. I can't remember what round that was in, but you could see he was definitely hurt. And then there was the up kick that Reyes landed on the ground. It was kind of like a very quick flash knockout, and Yuri recovered like as soon as his body sort of fell on top of Reyes, but he recovered, and, you know, he come back to win. So I think Yuri recovers better after being rocked than something like Pereira probably can. Fucking hell, like I say, I don't know who to pick. Like, in my mind, I see Pereira catching him with the left hook, maybe working the low kicks. You know, he's got a really good calf kick, Pereira. You know, it might give Yuri problems with that wide side stance and, you know, bouncing in and out like that. Might the way I see it going in my head, Pereira picking him from the outside with the low kick, maybe to a point where it affects Yuri's movements, and then Yuri has no choice to sort of close in and try and get the fight on the deck. But I do think Yuri's going to be looking to wrestle in this match, and I think if he gets it on the ground, it's a wrap. You know, like, I don't think Pereira's Pereira being tested by Izzy on the ground was a good enough hurdle to showcase Pereira's ground defense. But fucking Prochazka will test that grappling game if he can get it there on the ground. Like, he's just going to get past those fucking stone hammers. But I know we think Pereira with the knockout power, but Prochazka fucking switches people's lights out. You know, I mean, look at that. 29 wins and 25 of them are coming from knockouts. So he's no slouch to sleeping people as well. You know, you go and watch some of his fights in Rising and stuff like that. He's fucking turning fucking lads' lights out. Fucking hell. I don't know who to go for. Like I say, I want both of them to win. I love both of them. I'm going to go for Prohazka. And I'm going to go for a TKO, maybe. No, I'm going to go sub. I think he might get Pereira on the ground, beat him up, and then look to submit him. Maybe take the back or something like that. I don't know, though. Just when I think about Pereira, like, you know, Glover's training partner, Pereira, and Glover was landing left hooks and right straights on Prohazka. And I also think it's interesting as well, like, Pereira trains with Glover Teixeira, who was trained by John Hackelman, who used to train Chuck Liddell. You know, Hackelman's the head coach at the Pit, and, you know, one of Liddell's best weapons was the left hook. I know he had the overhand right as well. But Liddell having the left hook was a trademark punch. Glover, that was one of his best punches. And Pereira, it just seems like the Pit really knows how to make people throw a good left hook. Just like a little side observation there. But I'm going to stick with my guns. I'll go with my first prediction. I'll say Prohazka. I don't know whether to go TKO or sub. I might be fucking wrong with both of them. I don't know. I'll say third round sub. Do you know what? No, I'm going to say third round TKO Prohazka. Lock it in. Alright. Probably any of these, if not all of them, are going to be wrong. But we'll see where I end up on the leaderboards anyway. Can't wait for this event. I'm looking forward to it. It's a shame the John Jones-Stipe fight fell through. But arguably, it's a replacement that is just as exciting, in my opinion. But I think that's going to leave it there. Let me know who've you got in the comments. I'd love to see what you people think in the comments there. I love going back and forth with predictions and chatting MMA and stuff like that, as you know. So I want to know who's going to win these fights. Let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. All right, I think I'll leave it there. Thanks very much, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the fights.